Seven to Eternity, Chapter 1, written by Rick Remender, drawn by Jerome Opena. The story starts out on the hunt. We have Adam and his daughter Katie about to take down this giant boar thing. He's pretty much teaching her. He tells her that it's always important to hide your strength from your opponent. Adam tells Katie to connect with her cell. It seems like the weapon actually has some type of mental link where they can be bonded and use that bond in order to accomplish a singular goal. The boar seems to be onto the scent of Adam and Katie, and it starts to make its way towards them. Katie pulls back the bow and gets ready to fire. At that moment, Adam coughs, distracting Katie, causing her to miss her shot. She looks at him with concern. He expresses that he's okay and tells her that it's nothing to be worried about. At that moment, they hear the horn. It turns out that Zeb, Adam's father, was the one that blew the horn. What appears to be just storm clouds? Zeb knows better than to be fooled by that. Adam and Katie begin racing home, and Adam tells Naval to get all the children into the bunker for safety. Everybody is in disbelief, never having seen the sky do this before. A huge crash of lightning strikes the farmhouse. They've never seen anything like that. Zeb runs inside, hurrying to free the animals. Adam tells everybody to get down into the bunker for safety, and that's when he looks at his wife, Naval. That's when he tells her he'll be right behind her as soon as he helps out Zeb. Zeb is trying to get all the animals out of the burning barn. "Dad," Adam yells out. "The barn's collapsing. We have to get out of here now, or else we burn down with it." And then the barn actually collapsed. Another strike of lightning. Adam's never seen some power like this. Adam races inside to the house to get the hammer, and Zeb starts making his way towards the forceful being. He starts gathering all his energy and drawing on blades that are forged by his own devotion. At that moment, something calls out to him. Zebadiah Osidis, hear his offer. And Zebadiah refuses to do so. The piper begins playing his flute. All of a sudden, minions shaped as wolves, with vipers coming out of their back, begin rising from the mud. Zebadiah is quick to start slaying these minions, but there are too many and one catches him from behind. Back at the house, Adam is still going through, trying to get the hammer. He finds it just in the nick of time, and then just like the barn, the house collapses. Using a different form of his awesome powers, Zebadiah shoots an energy blast from his third eye, but the piper still has more tricks up his sleeve. Now, fairy-like creatures are surrounding Zebadiah, and they are mocking him, telling him that he is a failure. And then they corrupt him enough for him to stab himself. The piper offers, "There's still time." Zebadiah exclaims that he is no slave, and the piper replies that they are all slaves. The piper begins playing the flute again. Then the floor beneath Zebadiah begins to turn to mud, and he starts sinking in. Adam's running over to him, but it is too late, and he is only left with a single hand sticking out of the floor. The piper looks at Adam and tells him to hear the offer. If he does not, he will come back for the rest of his family. Adam does not turn away from his father's hand sticking out of the mud, and he starts to make communion with his just passed father. The next morning, the family is standing over Zebadiah's grave. Adam still has his cough. He's planning on packing up, getting ready to move out and head to hear the offer. Adam is packing up, getting ready for a long journey ahead of him. He turns to his wife, Naval, and he begins to say his goodbyes. She has nothing but concern for his safety and tells him not to go. Katie continues to pack on the gear, but Adam tells her she is not going with him. Her place is here to protect the family, but Adam cannot risk her safety and must go alone in the hunt against the Mud King. He heads out alone. He makes his long journey across the country. Days pass, and he goes through many different terrains. Forest, desert, mountains, and eventually he makes his way to a Mosak temple. He has finally arrived at the Fengao Mosak temple, one of the few sites to have withstood 3 different cataclysmic events that have nearly wiped out all life on this planet. As he makes his way inside, he finds nothing but death and pain. He makes his way over to a wounded aerial creature and gives it a crystal to bring back some of the energy it has lost. And then he continues his journey to the great city where the Mud King lives. As he starts making his way into the city, he finds the same thing that he found at the temple. Nothing but pain and death. A civilian approaches him and has nothing but ridicule on his mind for Adam. The citizen is curious to see what brings a member from the Osidis family to the city. He believes that Adam is there only to bend the knee to the Mud King. But the citizen believes that Adam should have been there to help the fight. At that moment, a warrior is flung from a building, and his opponent approaches, flying in for the final strike. But Adam cannot be turned away from his true journey. This is not his war. He meets a familiar acquaintance. She looks into his mind. She sees that his father has died, and she notices that he has changed over the years. They are absorbed by the building, taken inside. This is where he has found himself presented by the Mud King, asked only one question: will you hear my offer? Hello everybody and welcome to Comic Confab. My name is Kyle Lee, and that was the recap of Seven to Eternity, Chapter 1. Now overall, I thought that this was a really great book, and the art was really good as well. I was really taken away by the amount of detail that there was, and I mean, this is like a completely new world. I thought that it was great. It was full of action. It was a great new book, and this world, I just want to learn so much more about it. I think that Rick Remender has really set the stage for an amazing story. I think this is going to be one of those classics up there with like things like Saga and The Wicked and the Divine and other things. I mean, I think this was a really great and new start to a whole new world, and I'm really interested overall just to see where they go with this, because you know, we don't really know much about the Mud King or the King of Whispers, and we don't really know what's going on and why the Mosaics are hating on Adam for the most part. Like yeah, I mean, hey, it would have been one warrior, and obviously Zebadiah was able to put up some type of fight against the Piper, but come on, I mean, you gotta take care of your family first, right? But yeah, overall, I thought it was a great book. I really liked the story. I love the art. I'm going to be picking up issue 2, and I'll be giving you guys a video for that. I already know that right off the bat. I knew that this was going to be one of the books that I wanted to follow. I do give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I don't say that it's 5 out of 5 because I don't know what to really expect. I mean, this is a first issue. There is a lot of stuff left like unclear. And for it to be a 5 out of 5, it really just has to be an instant classic. And I'm not really sure that I know that it's going to be an instant classic yet. They really have to lay some more of the groundwork. I really have to understand what's going on in this world before I can say that, yeah, you know, overall Seven to Eternity is a 5 out of 5 book. But yeah, I think it's headed in that direction. And if they keep up the same amount of effort that they put into this first issue, I think it's going to be a 5 out of 5, no problem. So we'll see where we go with that. 4 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend it. And if you guys are interested in this book, feel free to pick it up. I do have a link to Amazon.com where you guys can find it in paperback and in Kindle condition. So go ahead and look at that. Make sure to let me know how you guys like Seven to Eternity issue number 1. I really want to hear your feedback. What did you guys think about it? Is it going to be the next big thing, like how everybody claims that Saga is one of the greatest titles? Or do you think it's going to eventually be a bust? Let me know in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter at comic_confab, or even on Instagram at comic_confab. And you guys can always find all of our content on comicconfab.com. Thank you.